Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Mindset with Mary podcast. I'm your host, Mary. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you one of the number one reasons why maybe you haven't reached your goal yet. Because if you are working your butt off and you're doing all the things and you feel like nothing is budging, nothing's moving, and you're like, what the heck? Maybe the reason why is that you're making excuses. And really, this is one of the biggest reasons that that I myself have struggled to follow through, have struggled to commit to the process because I'm making excuses that are literally holding me back. And a lot of times I wasn't even aware of this in the moment. And I had to have my coach or someone else point it out to me. Oftentimes, either my husband or currently my life coach point out some of these excuses to me so that I could become aware of it. And then once I was aware, then I was like, all right, well, now that I know that I'm doing this, I can actually start thinking about it differently. Once I think about it differently, I change how I feel about it. And when I feel more positively, when I feel more empowered about a certain situation, I take action because I'm feeling better about it. And then I actually start to see the results that I want to see. And so I want to share with you some of the top excuses that could probably be holding you back, and you might not even be aware of it. You might not even be aware of it. So, the whole intent behind this episode is to not only show you that if you're making some of these excuses, that they're probably holding you back and you might not be aware of it. So pay attention to how you're speaking over the next couple of weeks after I share these with you. Also, I want to make a really good point here. I'm sitting in my side by side. We're out camping, and my husband, I was going to record this episode in my trailer, which is way more functional for recording a podcast because it's in the bedroom, there's carpet, there's bedding. The sound is so much better. In the side by side, I'm sure this is a little bit more echoey. It's possible that you can hear my son running by screaming every once in a while. Who knows? My mom could walk up and tap on the window and be like, "What are you doing?" um, I have so many excuses. I've been sick all of this past week. I'm nasally. If you can't tell, I have so many reasons why I should not be recording this podcast, but here I am doing it because I am choosing differently, because I'm choosing to think differently about that so that I can in turn feel empowered and be like, you know what, I have to show up. I have to show up for my people, which, by the way, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you with all of my heart. Thank you for supporting this podcast. It seriously means the world to me. Anyways, back to the moral of the story. We need to stop making excuses for the things that we crave, the things that our soul is craving. I know so much that my soul is like, you've got to share these podcast episodes. But if I were to let every excuse in the book stop me from doing that, I wouldn't be here. And so I want to help you. I want to show you how you can start to show up and maybe even just shed some light on some of the excuses you don't even realize are excuses that are holding you back. Before we dig in, I have a couple of announcements. First announcement is that I'm doing a giveaway. I'm doing a giveaway for a $50 Amazon gift card and another giveaway for 1 month free coaching, which includes 2 one-on-ones, a group coaching call, as well as a library of tools that will help you reach your goals. So if you want to enter this giveaway, all you have to do is simply leave a review for the podcast. Share why you love it and how it's helped you. Take a print screen of it and share it with me through Instagram DMs, or if you don't have Instagram, through TikTok. Okay? That's it. That's all. And then at the end of April, I'm going to do a drawing. So make sure you get in a review by the end of April. The second announcement is basically I'm full-time Instagram. I know I've talked about I'm on TikTok and all of that over the last few months and stuff like that, but essentially I've decided to come back to Instagram and stick there full time. I feel like there's so much of just having to show up as this perfect version of yourself on Instagram, which kind of not makes me not want to be there because I'm like, well, that's not really me. But see, sorry, this cold is getting to me. My voice is starting to get squeaky. Um, if Instagram has more of the feel of like showing up as this perfect version of yourself, and here I am trying to share this message that if you show up as you authentically, and sometimes that's not the perfect version of you, when none of us are perfect, but when you show up as that authentic version of you, you are going to live a more fulfilled, happy, and successful life. And so, shouldn't it be Instagram that I show up and share that message? Because most of the people there are like, oh, I have to live this perfect life. I have to live my life for everybody and everything else and just show that this life is so wonderful. Shouldn't I be there to share my message so that the people who are like, this isn't working for me anymore, hear that message? And so that's really why I'm like, all right, let's be on Instagram. Let's share that message. And of course, with TikTok being fickle and whatnot over the last few months, why not like fully make that transition and just stay there and let's do the thing? So that's where I am full time. If you're looking for me, I'm more than likely sharing my daily inspiration on Instagram. So if you're like, what's Mary Jo's daily inspo to help me reach and maintain my goals, go check it out on Instagram. And that is at Mindset with Mary. Okay, those are the 2 announcements that I have for you today. Let's dig into the top excuses that are probably holding you back and really help you learn to reframe that and think differently about it so that you can start taking action and really start to reach your goals and actually maintain them. So, here we go. So, the very first excuse, like the number one thing I hear from most people, and even myself, is that essentially there's not enough money. This falls into a category of basically not enough resources. The first one is not enough money. I don't have enough money to buy healthy food. I don't have enough money to buy the fitness program that I want. I don't have enough money to work on my goals. I don't have enough money to buy the program I need to learn how to market this business that I want to build. I don't have enough money to do this, yada, 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 yada. The next one is that I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to work out. I don't have enough time to post on social media and market my business. I don't have enough time because family life is busy and I'm going and I just don't have enough time. And then another one that I hear so often, especially with the women that I've helped in their, I would say either their weight loss journey or their fitness journey or whatever it is they're working on, there's so often this general excuse, and I say this with no judgment because I've been there and I've done that, is essentially not enough energy. And what this means is that, okay, cool, maybe you don't have enough energy to wake up and work out, but if you don't work out, how are you going to gain the energy so that you have more energy? And it's just this giant loop cycle. Like, I don't have enough energy to work out. I don't have enough energy to work on my business after I get off work. But I'm so drained from work because I'm never fulfilled. And I want to work on this business that I know that would be so fulfilling. But I don't because I don't have enough energy. I'm in this loophole of never having enough energy. So it all links back to this general theme of not enough resources, which, and here's the tough love, baby girl. If these are one of your main excuses, and I just want you to pay attention over the next couple weeks, if you hear yourself saying, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough energy, it could probably mean that you don't think you're enough as is. That you, as you are in this moment, maybe with what you think is not enough resources, is actually this internal belief deep down that you're not enough. And this is something I really, really, really feel like so many people get stuck in. And it's the number one reason why within the first month of working with me, I help my clients build this belief that they are enough as is. And it really starts with shifting this internal world and starting to believe and see that others' opinions and all the things outside of you that you feel are controlling your results are not actually the things that are controlling the results. It's all the things inside of you. And that once you shift your internal world, your external world is going to start to mirror that. And so if you're like, yes, like I want to start to shift that, and I want to start to believe that I'm enough, because I know that once I believe I'm enough, I'll start to see that I have enough time. I'll start to see that I have enough money and enough energy to follow through with my goals and dreams. And if you know that, and you start to become aware of these thoughts that are holding you back, you can become aware of it and rewire it and simply start to question it. So that's the reframe, is once you recognize it, you can start to simply question the validity of these statements. Like, is it true that I don't have enough time? And not really, because me, myself, alone as I am worthy enough to create results with less time. And the same goes for money. I don't need this really expensive workout program to reach my goals and dreams. I'm worthy enough, just as I am, to simply start something and start to see results. And actually, I can create my own energy because I'm worthy enough to tap into that. And once I start to tap into that, when I get home from work, I can do this quick little meditation and pull energy from within because I am worthy enough to be able to do that. And when you start to do that, your world shifts. You stop making the excuses. You start showing up because you know that you're enough as is. The next really big excuse that I hear from myself and from my clients is that I'm too busy, I'm too stressed, I'm overwhelmed. Basically, too much is going on. And really what this means on a deeper level is that you're letting everything and everyone else tell you how you should prioritize your time. And from my own experience, all this has ever done for me is create a watered down, spread thin version of me. And I don't show up as the mom, wife, worker, whatever it may be, even, maybe podcaster, whatever it may be, as I want to show up as, because I'm spread thin. Because I literally continuously am telling myself that I'm too busy, I'm too stressed, I have too much going on, I'm overwhelmed. Ooh, even just saying that, my heart starts to race. Pay attention and notice, like when you say that, watch how your physiology of your body changes. Just thinking those thoughts starts to create those feelings. And when you feel that way, you're not going to feel like showing up. So it's really just starting to question that and starting to believe that, you know what? When I start prioritizing myself before all the other things, that maybe I actually show up as this version of me who has more energy, that has more to give, more to offer. Instead of just constantly telling myself over and over and over again that I'm too busy. I want you to start paying attention. How often are you telling yourself you're busy throughout the week? Sometimes we do this intentionally because it's easy to, make the excuse when we don't want to do something else, right? Like when there's something at work and people are asking you to do something that you know you don't want to do, or you know that like maybe out of your pay grade and you're like, you know what, I would, but I'm too busy. And sometimes we'll use that excuse to get out of doing things that we don't want, which is totally okay. But guess what happens is you get used to telling people that and it becomes a habit. And then you start telling yourself that you're too busy for the things that you want to prioritize. And that's where the problem comes in. And I fell for this real hard because I used to tell people all the time, I'm too busy. I don't have enough time. Things are crazy. And in all reality, things were pretty busy and crazy. But it's because I filled my space with things that I didn't want to fill my space with, just simply so I didn't have to do the things that I didn't want to do. But then I was doing things I didn't want to do and not following through on my goals and dreams. It literally became a loophole that I could not get myself out of. It was just this cycle, and it just kept going and going and going, and I was constantly busy and constantly stressed and constantly overwhelmed. And so if that's an excuse that you continuously keep making up, I just want you to pay attention to it. Pay attention. And the reframe really is just to start to believe that when I show up for myself first, I show up as a better version of me. And even though it might be busy, when I prioritize my needs first, life gets easier. And even when it's busy, it doesn't matter because I have more energy because my cup is full because I took care of the things that fulfill me first. And then I show up as a better mom, a better wife, a better whatever it may be for you. Take care of yourself first. So these are really the bigger excuses that I continuously hear. Essentially not enoughness. There's not enough resources to get you to where you want to be. And then the next one is that you're too busy. I hear this so often, and really all of these excuses, not enough money, not enough time, not enough energy, too busy, too stressed, too worried, too all of the things. They're keeping you trapped in a cycle. And no matter how hard you're working on your goals, you keep using them for excuses and you don't even know it. You're not even aware of it. Not even aware of it. And that's why it keeps holding you back. And this is why when you work with me one-on-one, I teach you my excuse busting protocol that literally takes you from making all the excuses in the world to showing up as the badass you want to be and not letting anything get in your way. So if you're like, hell yes to all of this, especially if you've been here and you've been listening to the podcast for a while and you're like, yes, 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 I want to know more, make sure you book that free consult. And I can absolutely help you overcome any of the challenges and excuses so you can start seeing how capable and amazing you actually are. And you can start reaching goals and actually maintaining them instead of sabotaging your progress over and over and over again. And just so you know, you're not alone in that. I've done it so many times. And when I finally hired a coach and when I finally got the one-on-one help that I needed for someone to be there and help keep me accountable, that's when my life changed. That's when things shifted. And so I want to be there for you too. If you're like, yes, make sure you book that free consult. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the podcast. If you found this helpful, please share it with a friend, print screen the episode, share it on Instagram, and don't forget, if you leave a review, tell me what you like about this podcast and how it's helped you. Leave the review and then share that review with me. You'll be entered into the drawing where you can either win an Amazon gift card or actually win a whole month free of coaching with me. So I love you with all my heart and soul. Thank you. Mwah. No excuses this week. Okay, babe? Pay attention, recognize if you're making them, and then start to shift them.